everyone for having me here. So yeah, I hope you all are
Okay.
doing good.
Thanks a lot, sir. So I am Chaitanya on the behalf of Entrepreneurship Development Cell is going to convene this event, and we are delighted to have you over here. And so, as we all know that you're currently a software engineer at Microsoft, we would like to know something about your journey and starting this journey right from your college. Like as you have done your BTech from NIT Hamirpur, I would like to know something about your initial steps for this career.
Okay, so when I was in college, so like I didn't have much idea about what I'm going to do. Like I had CSC, right? But I didn't know like every like all the other guys also. I didn't have much idea that okay, because I didn't have prior experience into coding. I started coding in college itself, right? And like when my first lectures started with C, so I was quite surprised because I didn't get anything at that point of time. So that's when I thought that okay, this is not that is something to be taken like lightly. So from then I think I thought that maybe my first goal is to understand what it is and then plan out things that how it is going to be, right? So from the first semester itself I understood that okay, this is something not uh, this is not something that I can take it lightly. So from there I started taking it seriously that okay, what I need to do, because like I did not have much exposure to coding prior to college, right? So that's when I thought that okay, and then again I had good seniors, I had good peers, right? So I started talking to them. I started attending all the events that were happening, all those things I started doing that. And like after that I started to getting hang of what it was and what it meant, right?
Okay, sir.
So
Okay.
then actually I started getting in groove, and I started finding out like what it means and how I can improve myself, how what I can do to actually uh, go about things from there. So that's when I
All
decided to
right.
do it.
All right.
And yeah, that was it.
So it was some sort of spontaneous, and at the same time, you were having some planning as well in this context.
Yeah. So like spontaneous as well. And actually I got much information from my seniors. Actually they were very kind enough to actually introduce me to this world, right? So I started to know about open source, I started to know about hackathons, I started to know about competitive coding. So all these things started coming back at me, right? And initially like what I would say that I was not that much serious in my first year, but like from third semester or fourth semester I was very serious. And then I started coding and all those things. So yeah, it was very good to me.
Okay. So actually, no one is serious in the first year itself. Like everyone get
No,
on the
no.
track after some sort of time.
Yeah,
That's
you
wonderful,
are
sir.
wrong by the way. But I have seen many of my juniors also and many of my peers also who are like from word go they are there. So I have seen people who have cracked GSOC in first year itself. So
Oh,
yeah, like people are there. But yeah, so I don't think like everyone should do it. Everyone should do it on like on their own pace. But I also think that consistency and seriousness is also required.
so presently, as you mentioned about hackathons and other coding events, which happen very usually in the college. So, to what extent do you think those events play an important role in terms of grooming the technical skills of a student? And at the same time, what are your opinions about CGPA? Like, is CGPA
Okay.
really important, or do skills take over them?
Okay, so first I'll go about all the events and hackathons. I think they are very important as you go, right? Because in these events and in hackathons, you actually learn like various things. It's not just coding. It's just like what people are doing and how they are doing. So I get to know about various things during these hackathons and during these coding events, right? So there were like software freedom day also we used to have in our college, like open source talks, various things we used to have in college. I only got to understand those things only due to because I was attending those events. And hackathons are like brain teasers for you, right? So what I understood during hackathons, that you achieve so many things in little time. So it's just a brain teaser. And if you're doing it in a group, you also get to understand how teamwork is done, and how like you merge your idea with your friends or with someone you are working with, and that will help you in future, right? So if you are doing something in a group, I think that will give you an idea about how we work in a team, right? So they are very important in my view. And like again, like if you go to any event, you meet new people, you understand how they are going about things, right? You pick something from them, that okay, you learn something, okay, this person is doing like this. If some there is some
Yes,
talk,
sir.
you attend those talk, and you get, their insights also, that okay, how they used to do things, what is good way to do particular things, or whether it's coding, whether it is open source, or whether it is like any other thing, right? So I
Yes,
think
sir.
those events are important. And regarding CGPA, I wouldn't say that it is not important. It is important, because sometimes it happens that some companies come and they only let people sit with some particular CGPI, right? So I think you
Yes, sir.
should have that CGPI, but of course you should have the skills also, right? So
Okay,
I
sir.
would say that, like, do not go into CGPI. Like it would not be, good to say that CGPI doesn't matter. They matter to an extent, but obviously skills are very much important, right? So skills take over
Okay,
them
sir.
obviously, but you should have CGPA, good CGPA also.
All right, sir. So basically, team becoming a good team player is also part of these events like hackathons. And at the same time, maintaining a healthy CGPA is essential. But at the same time, you must also be very much confident about your technical skills.
Right, right, right,
Right.
right.
So, sir, as far as your current team is concerned, you are presently a software engineer in Microsoft, which is essentially a dream company for many of the IT and CSC aspirants. So, how did you apply for it, and how did you get into it?
Okay, so I started from LinkedIn actually. So how did I apply? So I usually, like, when I started looking out, so I used to, like, use LinkedIn very much, and I used to go on their page, Microsoft page, and see what are the jobs that matched my interest or my skills, right? And then I used to go there and I applied to their career space, because they lead to their career space. So that's what I did. I applied to uh, every job that I liked or that matched my skill. I applied to that, and then after like in some cases you will get a call early, but it took some time for me to get a call from Microsoft actually. So it took about 2-3 months, and then everything started from there. So I used to use like LinkedIn very much. So yeah, effectively, if you use LinkedIn effectively, then I think there are better chances.
So, what do you exactly mean by using LinkedIn effectively? Like, personally, I also use it, but how to just take the best out of it?
So to take the best out of it means that you are so okay. So when you are preparing and you are job hunting, right? You need to do like 3-4 things consistently. So first thing is you need to prepare. That is foremost thing, right? You also need to work on your skills, and like third thing is you need to work on, because you need to let people know that you are open to, and you need to focus on what are the jobs that are there. So it can't be that okay, you are on LinkedIn one day and you are not there, because meanwhile some job get posted that matches your skill, and like there are various people looking out for a job, right? So yeah, like that helps if you are up to date. Okay, what are the job postings are there, which matches your skill, right? And then you apply to that immediately, then your chances will increase, because you are like very few applicants, first few applicants, right? So there are your chances, right? And also like if you are contacted with any recruiter, or any recruiter contacts you, suppose if you are working on a project, so you just let the world know that you are working on a project. Maybe some recruiter will see it, maybe someone will see it, right? And they will contact you. So if you are doing something, if you are working on a project which you think is quite interesting, and you should let it out there, so I think it works in your favor. So like that's what
Okay.
it means. Yeah, and like keep your profile updated. Like okay, these are your skills, these are your projects. You want to talk about them. So all those kind of things.
Okay. So in a nutshell, remaining up to date in terms of jobs, and thereafter maintaining your profile, getting in touch of the recruiters, and lastly,
Yeah.
just getting early in those lines of applicants, right?
Right.
Right. So, as far as the preparation is concerned, interview is a very big chunk out of it. So, I've seen that many of the candidates get nervous during the interview. So, what advice would you like to give to them in terms of not getting nervous, and at the same time, what type of questions can they prepare for it?
So of course, like when you get to the interview, so first 2 3 rounds are actually coding rounds, right? So I used to also get nervous, and it is very natural because you have been preparing for something and you get nervous. So, but you need to also be confident about what you are going to do, because in the in the long run, like nervousness will not help you, right? So what I used to do is like I used to talk. So before starting the interview, actually there is a introduction with the interviewee and interviewer, right? So when I used to talk at that point, when I used to
Just to
introduce
ease out
myself,
the
I used
tension of the candidate.
yes. So I used to talk. So when I used to talk, uh, I, I made sure that I am getting comfortable, and then if
Mhm.
I go, then I was in. Like my all nervousness was gone. So that I used as a tool to actually hide my nervousness, or you can say fade away my nervousness, right? So when you like and like interviewers are quite polite and they are very helpful, so irrespective of like whether you are get selected or not, right? So like you try to talk to them. If you find some problem, if you find some difficulty, so generally it is said that you have to talk what you are thinking during interviews, right? It has become virtual, as we all know, right? So during these times, what you are supposed to do is so suppose you are given a question and you are nervous, so it won't help actually. You just go straight into it. You ask some questions first, understand your questions, that what is the question and what you need to do. Just understand it from the interviewer, and make sure that before you jump into it, you understand the question and you start doing it. And you just think out loud, you just speak what you are thinking. If you are going into wrong direction, they will of course ask some question, give you any hint, and they will make sure that okay, they will help you. So in that way, when that interaction is going on, all the nervousness fades away. It's like you are talking to your friend and you are just trying to solve a problem, right? So you can take it as like this, because nervousness in the end won't help you, right? So I have been rejected at interviews, 2 3 interviews, where I was nervous. Just because I was nervous, I was rejected. So I made sure
Okay.
that okay, I will not let this nervousness come into my way. So I found what you can say a trick, or you can say a tool. So when I was getting introduced, I used to feel myself, like let myself feel comfortable, and then I start doing it. So yeah, like introduction part is a good way to deal with nervousness.
Okay. So basically, to ease out all the tension, and thereafter just presenting your natural self along with the technical knowledge which is required.
Right.
Okay, sir. So as far as these technical interviews are concerned, coding is a very essential part of it. So what was your initial journey with respect to coding? Though you have talked about it, but I would like to know more deeper about it. Like, how did you
Okay.
start?
So actually, I had a difficult time starting it, because when you work, then there is not much of competitive coding per se, like we do in companies, right? It is different. Like, of course, it is coding, but it is different. So like for coding, for competitive coding, you need practice. But I was out of practice. I'll tell you my case. I was out of practice, and initially it was very hard for me to actually, begin from zero. So that was my main concern, that okay, I have to start from. I knew everything, but I was not able to solve simple problem itself. I'll be honest with you guys. So that's where it struck me that okay, I need to be very consistent. I need to put my effort there. So I also struggled with what many people struggle with, right? So I did that, and during preparation, what like I will suggest anyone that consistency is very important. So if you are preparing and if you are doing things, like suppose I am doing something currently and I am again uh, preparing after 2 3 days, so I'm not consistent. And after, if you prepare after 2 3 days again, you'll have to see that what you did earlier, so your time is going there also, right? So to keep it in a flow, you have to consider and you have to be patient. It's not like that if you code for 15 days and you will be master. It's not like that. You have to put in the effort, right? You have to like put like those hours. You have to be consistent. You have to commit yourself to do, right? Because coding is important, as we all know, because all those 2 3 rounds are for coding itself, right? And you get asked good questions. You're supposed to be good, right? So you have to do this. And like, yeah, you have to practice. There is no other way, like there is no shortcut to it. So you have to actually put in effort, you have to practice, and you have to be better. Keep working every day on it. Yeah.
That was a very nice explanation, sir. And in a single line, consistency is the key. That's it.
Right.
Now, so today is 21st March and tomorrow is going to be 22nd. And it is going to be almost 365 days since the pandemic has struck us. Now, sir, during the COVID-19 pandemic time, the tendency of off-campus placements is really very high. So, what type of advice would you like to give to those people who are running before the off-campus placements, and how can they just hone their skills in that aspect?
So I would like to have 2 3 things. Of course, like you have problem solving skills that is required, like coding and all. So like that is must, right? And like if you have projects under your belt, like it is very fine. So like if you are like of like participating in off campus, or if you are looking for a job, right? So like you should have 2 or 3 things which are must, like, so if you are looking for a job in MNCs or good IT companies, so the first skill they would require is problem solving skills. And how do you develop problem solving skills? You develop it by practicing. You develop it by putting in effort. You develop it by coding, like putting in those hours, right? And second thing is, if you have projects, so if you're a fresher, if you have some good project under your belt that you have worked upon, and you know in and out of that project, so it will help, because they will spark discussions during your interview. And if your interviewer will ask questions about your project, and they will check that, okay, why did you take, like, how did you work on this project, what was your thought behind implementing something, right? So how did you think about it, and what was your thought process towards the implementation of that particular project, right? So here it also boils down to the problem solving, that how, so project is basically a problem. You're solving some problem in your project, right? You're trying to build something and you are trying to implement your problem solving skills there also. So it also boils down to that. So that's what they check. And it's good that if you have worked on some project, so it feels good to you also, that okay, you have actually built something that is a creation of yours, right? You have coded that. So what I see, that every problem I solve, I see it is my creation, right? That okay, I have created something out of my head. So that is one thing that and of course, like I said, problem solving skills, I said about project. And like of course, if you are job hunting, then like link using social network effectively, like LinkedIn, so that you are there. So you are putting out the word that okay, I am there, and I am open to work. So all those things, you can make your profile on naukri.com, right? You can use that also. And you can, okay, and the most important thing, you should have a good resume. So, and like I have said, I have written a blog about it also, and I was thinking about to write a, like in full length about a resume, that it should be 1 page, and it should actually help match what, like, people require. So what the recruiters are looking for. So suppose they are looking for a backend engineer, and if on your resume you have listed out all the skills that are of a front end engineers, it won't work, right? So these things are very helpful, and it should be one page resume. It should not be that it is 2 page resume, 3 page resume. That like I also used to do this. Like when I was in college, I used to have 2 3 page resume. We used to use photos, we used to have career objectives. They are not required, right? So they only require that what are the projects you are working, what are your skill sets, right? So like you can put down your CGV also, right? But it should be very relevant information that okay, if I look at it, I get okay. So I don't know if you know it or not, like recruiters spend like on an average 3 seconds or 5 seconds, I don't remember, but very less amount of time looking at your resume, right? So you have to have a very good resume to actually get selected. So that's on that part, I will stress on it that okay, apart from your skills, your good resume is also important.
Okay, sir. So I would like to add on that a recruiter on an average looks for around 12 seconds on the resume.
Okay,
So
okay,
that's the exact number.
yeah,
And to achieve anything, not just about the technical sphere, but rather if a person wants to succeed in any aspect of his life, there's a certain mindset called the growth mindset.
right.
So, in your opinion, what exactly is growth mindset and how can a person develop that?
So yeah, this growth mindset is what is very important, I would say. Growth mindset is something like I, I did not know this term, like if you say a year before, but I stumbled upon this term and like I read about it. So growth mindset is basically you can change your mindset, or I would say intelligence, with practice and with your thinking. So what I mean to say is sometimes we think that okay, so suppose I would give an example that okay, so for example, suppose I am not good at graphs, right? So I'm not able to solve graph question. So whenever graph question would come to me, a fixed mindset will do that okay, I do not solve graph question, that is not my comfortable area, so I'll not attempt that question, or I'll not do it, or I will basically fear from graph questions, right? But a growth mindset person, what will it will he will do or she will do that okay, I do not know about graph yet, but I will try to actually uh, solve those questions, and I will put my effort so that I can learn and I can solve. So there is a huge difference between thinking, right? So this is the growth mindset, that even if you don't know, even if you know that you don't know something, you accept it and you try to figure out a way to actually improve in that particular zone. So that is what we call sometimes out of comfort zone. But yeah, like you are open to accept your flaws, that okay, I am not good at this, and I will try to be good at this by maybe learn that particular thing by putting in more effort, putting some more time. So this is what I like. I don't like, this is what we call a growth mindset. And yeah, like it helps me because you change your way of thinking there. And that's why I am so keen on mindset, because your mindset decides what you are going to do. So suppose your mindset is okay, this is not my area, or you fear that area, right? So you will not be able to grow because you are always playing in your comfort zone and you are always playing where you can win. So the thing is, you grow where there is fear, right? So you go to that particular area and you try to learn, and when you learn, when you get out of it, you become confident about yourself, that okay, I can face anything. So if even if it is out of your comfort zone, you know that okay, you will be able to handle it and you will do it. So it will not only you know uh, like build a skill, or it will it will also build a confidence in you, that okay, you can come out of any situation, or you can you can get out of your comfort zone and actually achieve things. So that's what I think growth mindset is.
Oh, that's wonderful, sir. And what I am able to link it to is some sort of military mindset because in military, what soldiers do, they simply do hard things on a daily basis just to develop that mindset that it is okay for them to do hard things. And because they are working for a target wherein they have to risk their lives. And or getting out of their comfort zone and after getting that confidence is really very important in any sphere of the life.
Yeah.
Now, so moving on from the optimistic talks, I I was known that uh, you have already worked with United Health Group for almost 3 years. And what kind of experience did you have over there? And anything which you learned out of there, which is presently helping you?
Yeah, like it was my first company, and as you correctly mentioned, I worked 3 and like close to 3.5 years, you can say. And like it was great experience. I worked with great people, and like I was fortunate enough to get like great work. So I try to contribute as much I can. Of course, you have learnings. You learn about things that how you should work in a team, how you should actually put the team or put the project before anyone else, right? So there are some these things that you learn along the way, and as you work, you get some more insights, you get some more experience, you learn so many things that are not just about working and coding, but also like various soft skills, like how you talk to people, how you should communicate to them. So all those learnings are there, of course. And yeah, like they are helping, of course, when you work and when you accomplish things, so you get that confidence, and you carry that confidence with you and you take it forward. So yeah, I had a lot of learning. I made great
Okay.
friends there, and like yeah, I came out as a better person.
Okay, sir. So, sir, since you have worked for, you're still working for your second MNC. So, is it really a work-life balance at multinational corporations, or is it simply a myth?
I won't say it is a myth, because MNCs actually take care of your employees. I would say, like it's not that work-life balance spaces that much. Yeah, like sometimes you may have to work, like if you are having a deadline, then you can work a bit late, but not much. And what I think from my perspective, that if you are productive, then I don't think it will be a challenge to you. So suppose some work is there, and it can be completed in 3-4 hours, and you are productive, like if you are doing your work like with focus, so you can actually complete in 2.5 hours, 3 hours, right? So that time will free you, so that time will be available to you. So I had read somewhere that productivity makes you free, and I actually agree to that, because when you are productive, you can get a lot of work done in very short amount of time. So like it has not been a very much challenge to me. Yeah, like there were some instances there you have to catch a deadline and you have to work like sometimes a bit late, but it happens. Like it is normal, but you don't have to actually like that it is a myth, or there is no work life balance. It is there, so it's not a problem for me actually. So I don't think it will be a problem for anyone.
So, that is really a very enlightening statement that MNCs do take care of their employees. So, that's nice, sir. And now, sir, I'm having a very tempting question. Like each technology, like let us say radio, television, petrol and diesel cars are soon going to be saturated. So, what are your opinions about the saturations of technologies which are somewhat backed by companies like Microsoft, Google, Facebook, or are they simply going to move on forever?
So as we already know that like in every 5 years or 10 years, like technologies change, right? So and of course, like you have to like open to change, because like then you will be like if you are, so that's what growth mindset is. So growth mindset is basically you are open to change. So if there is some technological advancement, so you are not fearing that. You are embracing it. Okay, I will have something more in my bucket, right? So if there is, suppose like, so now I can give an example that okay, now React is very cool thing and people are working towards it, right? So all the big companies are also adapting it. Now companies are working towards ML and AI. right? So all those things are there. So like the big companies are of course making this transition, and they are consistently doing it. They are not doing it now, and like they are have started doing it now and they are not doing it before. They have been consistently doing it. And that's why like we are coming up with new technologies with like, of course, like in the world we are coming up with new technologies and we are moving forward. So I think this technological advancement will happen continuously. Like it is not that it will get saturated and okay, at that point of time we will not grow. Of course we will grow. There will no be, there will not be any saturation as such. But yeah, we will have to uh, keep up with the new technological advancements, right? So you have to keep growing also. So of course, these
Okay.
big companies, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, they all are coming up with new things, and you have to accept those new things. And like not just big companies, all the other, like as a IT industry as a whole, right? So open source are there, various things are there that are coming up new. So you have to accept those, and you have to, build your skills, and you have to grow. You have to put more things in your bucket as a skill. And yeah, that's what, like you have to grow, and these things will happen, and you will have to go with them
Okay.
and to stay. Yeah.
So it was really a very big relief, sir, that company's name is still going to be there, though they are going to change and alter as per the time. Moving on to the last question, any advice which you would like to give to the upcoming CSC engineers, IT engineers, coding aspirants?
So, okay, so my advice would be, of course, build skill because that builds everything. So, if you are there, build skills. And I think college time is a great time to actually explore various things. So, like while working, we don't have that much of time to actually explore various things. But like as I would say, if I again go to college, so I would do things a bit differently, right? So when I was in college, so I would say that you guys have time, you are in college, and I would like you guys to actually explore various things, work towards your school. Of course other things are also important, but yeah, like you can explore things, you can build your skill. You can try out various things. You can actually figure out what you like, and you can move ahead with that particular thing, right? So yeah, like keep practicing, keep doing good things, and like be good at it. And of course, like it's not that if you are not good at it, or if you fear it, if you fear coding, that then you will not be able to do good. Because I would say these things can be achieved by practice, by preparation, by putting in effort. You can be good at it, right? Anyone can be part of these big companies, anyone can crack those companies. So like everything that is there, that okay, I cannot go to these big companies, it's all in the mind. So if you have a good mindset, if you have a growth mindset, if you are willing to learn, if you are willing to put that much of effort, then of course you will do it. Like there is no barrier to that okay, you will not be able to do that. So yeah, but yeah, you have to put effort, you have to do things, you have to put in hours, you have to practice those problems. So that's
Okay,
what I
sir.
would say.
So the bottom line is that don't waste time and practice is the key. Just
Yes,
keep
yes,
honing the
practice,
skills.
yeah, yeah. And having good mindset, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful, sir. So it was really very nice talking to you, sir.